So we're covering Romans over the next few weeks, and we're in our series called We Are Rome, and we're doing something cool and something different. Every week we're asking people to text in questions or thoughts or whatever off the sermon to 22333 and put in St. John 115 and anything you want. It's anonymous, and so we're covering some of the questions this week, and so we hopefully get some more from you. This week is Romans 10, and we have a few questions off that.
And also, if people would like to email, they're certainly welcome to email the questions, and that email address is always on the bottom of the sermon notes in the front of the bulletin.
All right, we look forward to getting more. So the first one came off a quote, and you were quoting an atheist blog, and this was a little bit further down within that same blog, and this is what they said. When I finally came out of the closet and allowed myself the freedom of being an atheist, it was like a butterfly emerging from its chrysalis. I could read anything I wanted, ask any questions I wanted, challenge anything that didn't make sense to me. And after being the equivalent of a worker for so long, this was heady stuff indeed. I am still exhilarated by it. A chained intellect, as demanded by religion, is a pitiful thing. A free intellect is a thing to be treasured. The question we had for that was this one. These are really tough words.
They are.
Do you see the idea of just this free intellect, this free thinking, as something that's contradictory to Christianity? And then do you think Christians struggle with the idea of asking tough questions about their God?
The myth that you can't be a free thinker within the Christian faith, or the other myth that outside of religion you find the true freedom, is an important thing to explore here. Because truly some of the great thinkers of time have been Christian thinkers who have had the ability to engage in what is not, really to plumb the depths of, I'm thinking of people like C.S. Lewis, for example, who really did probe a lot of things and really came out of a strongly questioning background of is there even a God? Or Lee Strobel, another more modern example of somebody who came out of a truly an atheistic understanding, but came out of that by really probing some of the things that Christianity claimed. So yes, those are tough words, but it's kind of a myth to say that that if you sort of abandon or reject religion, that then you're able to be free. At the same time, I do think some Christians struggle with being able to ask questions. And part of that, I believe, has to do with doubt. And that the fact that they maybe are a little bit doubtful and they feel like if they question, then it's going to, their religion is going to fall apart, or their faith is going to fall apart, or somehow God can't handle it. And God can handle it. I mean, that's the thing. He can handle the truth. He can handle what is. He can handle, it's kind of like a parent whose child is angry, and I hate you, I don't, I'm gonna run away from home. There's a little child saying those kinds of things. The parent can deal with that because the parent knows better, and the parent knows that the child will eventually get over it. And I don't think God really treats us like rebellious little children, but at the same time, the image maybe is an appropriate thing for us to keep in mind. In the moments of our greatest doubt, He's okay. It's like, it's all right. You'll get over it. And frankly, I've had to walk through some really hard times with people. Maybe I should say I've been able to walk through some pretty challenging times with people when I've just had to say, I will believe for you. Because they've been really strung out and they've said, I'm without hope. I don't even know if God's there. I don't know if He's going to hear what are we doing here? And I've been able to say, it's okay. I'm with you. I'm going to believe for you, and we're going to get through this. And they've gotten to the other side.
Yeah. And so much of it comes back to, it's supposed to be a relationship with God.
Yeah.
And looking at like in a human context of, looking at people whose marriages I respect, and you talk to them and they'll say like, yeah, we've had struggles along the way. It's not like there's never not a struggle. And that if you try to gloss over that and you're like, oh, that's going to lead to a very shallow relationship. And if our God is who we say He is, then ask the questions and don't be afraid of that.
Well, I think it's even more, yes, I don't want to try to trump you here, but there's another layer to this. The Bible says if we say we're without sin, we deceive ourselves.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be questions. There's going to be issues. We just need to not try to pretend they're not if they are there, and to trust God that He can deal with them, and to go to Him and search and try to discern. I think one of the great things to do that is in the book of Psalms, where you've got these. David he just lays it all out. Where are you, O God? He's like, why are you so far from me? Why are you not answering me? He just lays that out in a way that just allows you to really, I think, let God answer powerfully.
Well, one of my favorite verses says, "In my anguish I cried out to the Lord, and He answered by setting me free." Which along those lines of, if that's when if He's, the same thing, if He's our Father, if you're a father, you don't want your child to hide like, I don't know if my dad loves me or not. Like,
Right.
you don't want
That's
them.
not what you
You
want.
want them to come to you, and so that you can reveal that.
Well, and the other thing you mentioned, in my anguish you set me free, I'm thinking also of Galatians chapter 5, verse 1. It was for freedom that Christ set us free. If you think that religion ties you down, then I'm not sure you really have embraced the message of Christ, because He sets us free. He sets us free from guilt, from shame, from sin, and allows us to embrace whatever's on our heart without fear, because we believe He loves us.